All right, guys. So I know I've been talking about the black and the white thing, blacks versus non black, and that covers anyone that's just not black. Some people may say, because I did a video, and then, you know, some people may say, you know what, white people has treated me better than black people, and so that's why I prefer white people. I need you to stop doing this, though. I'm going to tell you. Stop going, white people has treated me better than black people, so that's why I think white people are better. Okay. How about this? These particular individuals treated me well, and so I like these individuals. There's something in your head, probably a sense of inferiority, that still is there that makes you say, white people are better to me, so therefore I prefer white people. If you think that way, there's something unhealthy. Just like if a white person's just hanging with black people, I don't like white people because there's something unhealthy about that. You came from that. If there's something about white people, then as black people, we need to be watching you then, because you're from that. And if you as a black person will go over to a white over there and say, well, white, black people, this and that, then as a white person, they need to watch you. It's not about the color, guys. It's about who you hanging with. It's about who you with. It's not about the color. If they're nice to you, okay, these individuals are nice. Don't just say, oh, white people are good to me. It's just like when someone has had a bad experience with a black person. If someone's had a bad experience with an Indian person, they go, all black people, all Indian people, all Chinese people are this way, all Arabic or Muslim people from the Middle East are like this. That's not true. That was your experience with that person or that specific group of people. Listen, guys, all I can tell you is this. Why am I on this? I'm normally talking about God and spirituality, but you know what? Our culture and who we are, this is all a part of God's creation. And we have got to get to that point. Hating one another, that's all a plan of the enemy. If everybody was united and treat each other well on this planet, wow, what things we'll be able to do. But that's another way the enemy comes in to bring separation and division. But anyway, let me stay on track. What I'm saying is, if you've met anyone of a race that did anything goofy, stop saying, oh, I like white people because white people's been good to me, so I prefer them. You're unhealthy. It's not even them, it's you. You're unhealthy. You feel inferior. You feel there's something about you, so you happy to be over there. Just look at it as those are individuals, because there are very nice and kind black people. They are there. They exist. Something that I used to go through a lot when I was coming up, even growing up in Brooklyn, was people used to tell me that I talked white. First of all, honestly, even some of the way I talk now, having been in the South for so long, my dad would look at me and go, oh, Arlene. We come from a family, even Jamaicans speak proper English. They speak very proper. Outside of the Jamaican dialect and the accent and all of that. Outside of that, very well eloquent, well spoken, at least in my house, okay, in my family. So then when people hear me speak, they will go, you talk really good to be black. Or you talk white. What is that? Intelligence is white? Speaking proper sentences is white? You understand? So what did that mean for me? Did I have to change how I'm talking? Well, when I was younger, I kind of did. But then when I got older, I realized, no, I just have to change my circle of black people. It does not mean that, oh, I'm just going to go to white people because, oh, they don't bother me about how I speak, and they don't bother me about how I dress, and they don't bother me about whatever. Trust me now, I grew up around a whole lot of black folks, okay? And even being in the military, I traveled. We learned, I growing up in Brooklyn, I didn't have any white friends really. But it wasn't like, oh, white people, it's a melting pot. We go around the corner to, Pathmark or whatever Key Foods to get some stuff, and be the Middle Eastern guys there that's selling that stuff, and they'll be like, hey, what's up? That's it. You go down here, you see the Jewish people. You go down here, go here to get some pizza from the Italians. It was just a melting pot. We're all on the train together. So it wasn't like, oh, white people. Very rarely. I've never experienced racism in New York, ever. Okay? But what I'm telling you is I pretty much grew up around black people. I was just, was black, Puerto Ricans around the block, and Jamaican West Indians, okay? So that's how I grew up. But once I got in the military, I wasn't like shocked to see white people because I've seen them in Brooklyn. But then white people come from different places and have this racism. Some of them have that going on. But what I'm telling you guys, and then, dealt with accordingly. But what I'm telling you is stop looking at that. What I did when those black people that had a problem with the fact that I spoke proper English or whatever, all I did was change my circle. And I didn't change my circle like, oh, I'm just going to be with white people. Because there are black people who speak proper English. There are black people who like the things that I do. I have the same beliefs that I do. Same belief system, same hang-ups. So I don't have to say, I'm going over to the white side because you guys don't like the way I talk. That's stupid. I'm not saying either that I don't speak to white people, because I have people of all types of different cultural backgrounds that I'm friends with, and I know, and especially through the Army, it happens. You understand? And just people that I meet at school. But I don't feel like I need to go over here because you're better. And so stop discounting your race. It's who you hang out with. That's your experience. You cannot say every last black person is terrible. Just like you can't say every last white person is terrible. We may look at what we see on TV, what we see. We see white people beating, killing, lying, being manipulative, doing all these different things, right? So then for us, we're going to be like, man, all white people's whatever. And it's easy to happen. But you have to realize not every last one of them is that way. You understand? Just like you can't say every black person is a criminal, every black person is this and that and the other. No, that's not true. That's a racist mindset to have. Just like it's racist to say all white people are that way. We may see some things that there's white people that really are not doing anything hateful to black people. But guess what? Because the majority of what we see, the injustices, the unfairness, sometimes they get caught up in the crosshairs and they get treated and judged unfairly. And just like people look at me, you go to a store, I think I'm fairly dark. Somebody will just assume certain things about me because of what they saw on TV, the stereotypes, or an experience they had with a dark person with a beauty mark. Okay, so they're all the same way. No, I'm not the same way. You don't know anything about me. You don't know my accomplishments. You don't know my background. You don't know I am retired. You don't know that I am established. You don't know that I have, investments and things going on in my life. You don't know that. But all you see is she's black. So someone look at me and totally want to off me, right? God forbid. All right, that's not going to happen in the name of Jesus. But they'll do that. You destroy people that you don't know nothing about. You just look at them, right? But it's the stereotypes. It's also based on what do you see on TV? Very rarely do you see black people on television, as a family being portrayed in a positive way. Very rarely do they put on television the black engineers and the lawyers and the judges and the things that's happening. No, you're going to see mostly black people being beaten. Someone did something, because you have to demonize the race, right? And it's the same way you can put a whole bunch of things about white people doing evil stuff. You're going to demonize them. Any race, if you just put all that they're doing terrible, then you're going to demonize them. So what I'm saying is stop saying I just hang around black people because white people's this. Because if you that type of person, I don't trust you. If you turn in your own race, you going to turn me in, period. And the same thing, if you are black and you go over to the white people or whoever, you just talk bad about your race, I'm going to tell them, and they need to know they should not trust you. Because if you talk about your own and you turn in your own, I got to watch you in my circle. You feel me? So, guys, first of all, of course, prayer changes everything. But put everything in perspective. All whites are not terrible and all blacks are not terrible. It's who you've been hanging with and your experience. But don't blanket, put everybody else under that same blanket of your offense. All right? Peace out.